All right, it is 7 p.m. and I would like to call this meeting to order. While this meeting is being held in person, we are also offering the option for the public to participate through Zoom if preferred. Instructions on how to participate virtually are included in the City Council calendar item listed on the front page of missioncast.org. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Volks, please call the roll.
Here. Hayden Champosi. Here. Mosa.
Here.
Ryder. Here. Spring. Here. Schmidt.
Here.
Josie.
Here.
Carpenter Davis.
Here. We do have one special presentation this evening, a proclamation recognizing July as Parks and Recreation Month. Parks and Recreation play a vital role in enhancing the life in our community. They support the health and well-being of residents of all ages, strengthen our local economy, and help preserve the natural spaces that make Mission a great place to live. Through parks, trails, recreational facilities, and programs, we create opportunities for neighbors to connect, stay active, and build a stronger community. As we proclaim July as Parks and Recreation Month, I encourage everyone to get outside, explore our parks, participate in our programs, and enjoy all that Mission has to offer. I also want to thank Parks and Recreation Director Penn Almany and the entire Parks and Recreation team for their dedication and the outstanding work they do every day to make our community more vibrant. I'd also like to recognize National Parks and Recreation Professionals Day, celebrated on July 17th, 2026, and thank the dedicated professionals whose passion and commitment help build strong, healthy, and resilient communities through the power of parks and recreation. Penn, would you or any members of your staff like to come forward to receive the proclamation? All right.
Great when you put there.
There we go. 1, 2, 3.
All right, we do not have any public hearings or items related to the issuance of notes and bonds tonight, so we will move into our consent agenda. Our consent agenda consists of 2 items. Our council committees met on July 8th and fully discussed each of these items. The committees agreed that the items listed on our consent agenda are routine enough to be considered under a single motion. If a council member or member of the public would like an item removed from the consent agenda, then they may request that at this time. If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Mayor, I move that City Council adopt the consent agenda as printed items 4A through 4B.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Hayden Champosi.
Aye.
Spring.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Bond.
Here. No, aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Mosa.
Aye.
Josie.
Aye.
Ryder.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, next we'll move into public comment. If any members of the public would like to make a comment on items that are not included on our agenda tonight, now would be the time. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Seeing no hands, we'll move into Planning Commission. We do not have any items coming forward from the Planning Commission this evening. So we'll move into our committee reports. Councilmember Schmidt, will you please provide a report from the Finance and Administration Committee?
Yes, thank you. The Finance and Administration Committee met on July 8th and considered 4 items. No items were considered under the consent agenda earlier tonight. Resolutions of intent to levy a property tax exceeding the revenue neutral rate for the 2027 budget for the City of Mission and Rock Creek Drainage District Number 2, and an ordinance directing compliance with House Substitute for Senate Bill 244 and delegating responsibility for said law to the City Administrator will be considered on the regular agenda this evening. I will go ahead and cover both items 7A and 7B, with 7A being resolution of intent to levy a property tax exceeding the revenue neutral rate for the 2027 budget, and 7B, resolution of intent to levy a property tax exceeding the revenue neutral rate for the 2026 budget, Rock Creek Drainage District Number 2. In accordance with state statutes, if the governing body would like to retain a mill levy, which is equal to or greater the one for the current tax year, notice must be provided for the county clerk no later than July 20th. This notice must be provided in the form of a council resolution to ensure Mission can capture the appropriate revenue when planning for the 2027 budget. Two separate resolutions have been prepared, which would provide the county appropriate notice of Mission's intent to exceed the revenue neutral rate for the 2027 budget by outlining the maximum mill levy for the 2027 budget. The resolutions also establish the date and time of the required public hearing, which will be held during the September 16th, 2026 City Council meeting. There is no resolution for Rock Creek Drainage District Number 1, as the valuation within the drainage district decreased and holding the mill levy constant would not exceed the revenue neutral rate. The mill levy may be reduced following the public hearing in September, but it may not be increased once notice is given to the county by the July 20th deadline. The county will take the information provided by all taxing jurisdictions and send notices to every property owner. For the first, Mayor, I move the City Council approve the resolution for the City of Mission, providing notice of the governing body's intent to levy a property tax exceeding the revenue neutral rate for the 2027 budget.
We have a motion and a second. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none, and council discussion? Yeah, Ben?
Yeah, partly just wasn't here last time to voice my usual thoughts. I'll keep it brief. I think the revenue neutral rate is sort of a kind of a confusing concept at best, and as I'm sure Ms. Smith probably said, is asks the city to pay for increasing costs with the same amount of funds as we were able to bring in when the dollar was, stronger than it was in the previous year. So just like to get my thoughts on record that the revenue neutral rate concept is not something I think is helpful. I think what really comes out in the budget discussions is what are we paying for? What does it cost? And what level of cost are we assessing on the taxpayers?
Any other comments? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Josie,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Pring. Aye. Camosa.
Aye.
Hayden Chomposi. Aye. Schmidt.
Aye.
Ryard.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And for the second, Mayor, I move the City Council approve the resolution for Rock Creek Drainage District Number 2, providing notice of the governing body's intent to levy a property tax exceeding the revenue neutral rate for the 2027 budget.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any public comment on this item? Any council discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Pring.
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Ryard.
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Camosa.
Aye.
Hayden Chomposi.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The last item on my report is item 7C, ordinance directing compliance with House Substitute for Senate Bill 244 and delegating responsibility for said Senate bill. Senate Bill 244, adopted by the Kansas Legislature in 2026, requires public buildings owned or operated by state and local governments to designate multiple occupancy restrooms, locker rooms, and similar private spaces for use based on biological sex at birth. The law also establishes enforcement procedures, penalties, and complaint processes related to alleged violations. The proposed ordinance designates the city administrator as the official responsible for administrating this process on behalf of the city, which includes receiving complaints, coordinating any necessary review or investigation, promulgating necessary policies for compliance, maintaining records related to complaints, and ensuring the city's response procedures are administered consistently and in accordance with state law. It also contains language directing removal of policies in the event that SB 244 is invalidated. In addition to the proposed ordinance, the city's legal staff, with information, guidance, and sample documents provided by the Kansas League of Municipalities, are drafting other administrative documents which would guide issues related to enforcement of SB 244, including administrative policy, complaint form, facility audit form, and staff guidance when receiving a complaint. Mayor, I would like to note that I do have a comment that I would like to make regarding this, despite the upcoming motion. Mayor, I move the City Council adopt the ordinance directing compliance with House Substitute for Senate Bill 244 and delegating responsibility for said law to the city administrator.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any public comment on this item? Seeing none, do we have council comment, Brian?
I do. So obviously, as part of my role as Finance and Administration Committee Chair is to make these motions. However, I do consider this one kind of a hard pill to swallow. Understand why we have to do this to avoid being penalized, but obviously the bill itself, Senate Bill 244, I consider to be unfairly and unnecessarily targeting a vulnerable minority population. What I did find heartening, I wanted to make sure the public was aware as best I could about why we were passing this, so did attempt to spread some word around the details of the ordinance via Facebook primarily. And local response to that was supportive, was positive for the population, and understanding. And I think that coupled with the more official post I made on my candidate page, which was not received well, I actually found hopeful in that folks who were not local or who were bots came out of the woodwork to complain and post some really terrible things on that. But everything I received locally from real people, I found again to be very heartening. So I do hope that we're able to enact the language that invalidates this at some point in the future. And I'm made hopeful by that because of, I think, the public response I did receive.
Yeah, Ben?
Yeah, Brian already covered a lot of the territory I wanted to cover. Suffice it to say, I've struggled with this one in particular. I understand the position the city is in with respect to state statute, but it's still something for me that's very difficult to say we are going to comply with this as a matter of policy. I don't know. I really don't think I can vote yes on this one. I don't expect anybody else to necessarily feel the same way.
Yeah, Mary?
Yeah, I have something written because I want to like stray too far off. But I do want to be clear that my vote tonight should not be interpreted as a reflection of my personal views towards minority members of our community who deserve dignity, respect, and to know that they are valued members of mission. This ordinance is before us because of a state mandate, and failing to comply exposes our taxpayers to significant legal and financial penalties under state law. My vote is about fulfilling our legal obligations as a city while avoiding unnecessary costs to our residents, and not about passing judgment on any member of our community.
Yeah, I would piggyback on what Mary said and would just say, I don't think it would be helpful to any of our members of our community for the city to be hit with continuing fines in the case of non-compliance. And I think we can do a lot more good for our community, including the trans members of our community, if we are not spending our money in that way. But definitely recognize the harm that this law causes. And frankly, and I've been up here for 9 years now, I'll call bullshit on this one. It's bad, it's hateful, and it's harmful. And you would think the legislature would have better things to do with their time and energy, but apparently they thought not, because they didn't accomplish a lot else this session, but they did pass this law. And so I understand the views of council on the vote tonight, but yeah, I do not think that the delegation of authority to our city administrator should be seen as support for the bill. I see another hand, Sam.
Yeah, I don't want to restate all the complaints that you've heard up here about the actual piece of legislation, of which I share. I think it's sad state of affairs that we are targeting the trans community really to score cheap political points. And I say we as in the state of Kansas, not me personally. But as much as, I hate that, I also recognize that we have to be pragmatic and balance, being a welcoming community with also, being hit with, as the mayor said, lawsuits. So I just want to thank Ms. Smith, staff, and Mayor Flora for really working hard on the language. Also just want to underline, as Brian noted, about the mechanism that would direct Ms. Smith to revoke the processes should it be struck down. So begrudgingly, I'm going to vote to approve this, and I just invite those out there to continue making noise about this.
Any other comments? Wanda?
I just have a point of order. If you abstain, am I able to do that?
No.
I am not.
You don't have a reason to abstain from the vote
If you abstain without a conflict of interest, your vote will be counted with the majority.
with the majority of the votes.
Um,
And Mayor, if I might, I just want to assure, I think the council is aware of this, but I want to go on the record this evening to say that I and the staff understand and support your position. And to the extent we are ever faced with having to deal with this issue, we will treat everyone with the dignity and respect that they deserve, which is no different than what we are doing now. So just wanted to make sure that's clear and you know that is our commitment.
I appreciate that. All right, seeing no other comments, Robin, please call the roll.
Carpenter Davis,
Yes.
Mosa,
Aye.
Hayden Tromposi,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Begrudgingly, aye.
Josie,
No.
Schmid,
Sure.
Ryard,
Yeah.
Spring,
Aye.
motion carries.
That concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Carpenter Davis, will you please provide a report from the Community Development Committee?
Thank you, Mayor. The Community Development Committee also met on July 8th and considered 3 items. The meeting minutes and Memorandum of Understanding Grantee Auto LLC were approved under the consent agenda earlier tonight. Adoption of the 2024 building codes will be considered under the regular agenda this evening. 7D 2024 Building Code Adoption. Staff has been following the lead of the Johnson County Building Officials Association and regional partners over the past several months to prepare for the adoption of the 2024 International Building Codes. Following an April City Council work session, draft ordinances and supporting materials were posted to the city's website, and a virtual stakeholder workshop was held on June 17th to gather input from the governing body, boards and commissions, developers, contractors, design professionals, and community organizations. Feedback from that workshop was presented to the City Council during a follow-up work session on June 24th, where the council expressed support for moving forward with the proposed code adoptions while requesting a legal review of concerns raised by the Kansas Gas Service regarding the Kansas Energy Choice Act. I do want to make a note that the Mission Sustainability Commission strongly supported adopting the 2024 edition codes, series of I-codes with no weakening amendments. And they recommended that the 2024 IECC as written with the ERIHERS of 53 and appendixes CB, RB, RE, and RK. Based on the city's attorney review, staff is recommending a minor amendment to the 2024 International Residential Code, IRC, and the International Conservation Code, IEC, to align with changes adopted by other Johnson County communities and address potential concerns regarding fuel burning appliances. Staff has also incorporated revisions recommended by the Consolidated Fire District Number 2 into the proposed fire code and included updates related to the 2017 Accessibility Code and Board of Code Review. If approved by the City Council on July 15, 2026, the new codes would become effective October 1st, 2026, providing time for the building community and city staff to prepare for implementation. Mayor, I move the City Council adopt the ordinance adopting the 2024 International Building Code by amending the existing Chapter 500, Article 2 of the Mission Municipal Code entitled International Building Code.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Motion and a second. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none. Robin, please call the vote. Oh, sorry, council. Discussion. There we go.
Yeah. I'm just trying to understand the motion. We said for the International Building Code, is this the single motion for the entire?
No,
Okay, all right.
there are many.
Thank you.
There are many.
Any other comments on this piece? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Mosa.
Aye.
Carpenter Davis,
Aye.
Hayden Tromposi. Aye. Schmid,
Aye.
Spring,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Ryard,
Aye.
motion carries.
Mayor, I move the City Council adopt the 2024 International Residential Code by amending existing Chapter 500, Article 3 of the Mission Municipal Code entitled International Residential Code.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none. Josepha, did you have a council comment?
I do have council comment. So I actually would like to reopen the discussion about whether to adjust the HERS rating to 60 from 53. I think that we can all acknowledge that retrofitting for energy efficiency is more costly than planning for it during an initial build. And I think that we can also all acknowledge that costs are not likely to decrease over time, and our collective need to be proactive on climate issues, even if it's just better comfort in the home, is sound policy. And so requiring builders to make choices that benefit our residents long term, I think is in the best interests of Mission as a city, as opposed to any individual council member that's on the dais at the moment. I know that in a lot of the discussion, the question that keeps coming up is how much does it cost? But I think that that is the wrong end of the question. I think the right question to ask is, if a $4,000 incremental investment saves a homeowner $500 per year for decades while improving comfort and reducing peak energy, is that a reasonable public policy? And I believe that it is. On top of that, if we don't anticipate an overwhelming number of new builds in the next 3 years, then the time to make a big step in the right direction is now. Part of the discussion we've been having is that 85 was too lax, and someone has to make a big step forward and hope that the rest of the cities in Northeast Johnson County will come with us. And so I would like to suggest that we adopt N1101.13.3 parentheses R401.2.3 unamended. I don't have a major issue with the other other amendments in there, but with that one, I think that we should just commit to HERS 53 and take a big step in the right direction.
Josepha, just to clarify, are you jumping to the subject matter of the 10th motion and the International
in the
IRC.
Conservation
Is
Code?
it in IRC?
Or the piece that's in
It's
IRC?
the piece that's in
Okay,
IRC.
In
It's in
IRC.
both-
That's why I just wanted
It's
to
both
clarify. Yep.
places.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Yes, vote on the amendment, but
Yep, you'll need to vote on the amendment, and then you'll go back to the
underlying
underlying
motion.
motion that includes the amendment that
okay.
I can
Councilmember
figure out how to do
Pomposi
that.
has proposed. Or does it?
I propose, oh, I did do it.
You did it.
I'm,
And it's been
okay,
seconded.
I did it.
Yes.
Okay, so this is now we are voting on
The amendment.
the amendment, not the original motion. We are voting on the amendment brought forward by Councilmember Hayden Chomposi.
Ryard,
Aye.
Hayden Chomposi,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Mosa,
Aye.
Spring,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis,
Aye.
Josie.
Aye.
Motion carries. The amendment's been approved.
Now you're back to the original motion.
Mayor, I move the city council adopt the,
So
wait,
Cheryl has already made that motion, seconded by Debbie. So now you're back to that. You don't need a new motion. You can take discussion now on that
Motion
with
amended.
that motion with
Motion as amended.
as amended.
Yes, so we'll now open.
everything we're learning today.
It doesn't happen all that often, the amendment from the dais. So yeah,
Sorry, I've got my code of procedure.
yeah, he got it. Takes a little refreshing.
Pocket, like the pocket constitution.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So back to the motion on the IRC with as amended. Do we have any public comment on this? We already took public comment on the underlying, but
Yeah,
as
you were-
amended, do we have any public
you were
comment
at-
on this?
Yes, that council comment. And then it would be
Council, any further council discussion?
as for, I think for
As on
clarity,
the
as
amended.
further amended by the
Yes.
other, because it was, the IRC had
correct.
amendments included in what
Yes.
was being proposed. So as further amended by Councilmember Hayden Chomposi's motion.
Okay,
Can I
so
stand for a small point of order?
yes,
Going to be a table associated with the section that Josepha called out. And I would like for everybody to assent to that being included in the amendment, if we can. I mean, arguably it's part of the section, but let's not split hairs.
The table with the HERS rating.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have it in front of you? Is it included in the section? Or do we need?
It's numbered separately, so.
For-
1106.5.
I don't have that in front of me. So Brian, can you clarify if that is referenced in the code section that we are now amending
How-
or if it is?
How about this? How about somebody make, if you're interested, how about you make a motion that says wherever the proposed 2024 IRC code referenced a HERS rating of 60, you would now like that to be reflected as a HERS rating of 53. And then we're covered, right, Brian? Anywhere in the ordinance, and we don't have to worry about potentially missing a section and having to come back to you with that.
I got you.
Okay, so
that
how
make
would you
sense?
like to make that motion?
I move we amend the motion.
You can
That's
just
the
propose a
2024.
new
It'd
motion.
be a new amendment. Yeah, new.
I
Yeah.
propose that you, yes,
I move we amend the motion to pass the 2024 IRC with the staff recommended amendments, with Josepha's amendments, and now further amending it such that all references to HERS or energy rating index in the IRC are changed from 60 to 53.
Second.
Is everybody happy?
Just another point of order.
No.
Would it not have been okay for for him to just ask for a friendly amendment to Josepha's for what you said, as
Pro-
opposed to making a new amendment?
probably so. We made a really long new motion. I was thinking we were gonna have a
If you-
new
yeah.
short motion, but that's okay.
Our code of procedure is not like Robert's rules. Friendly amendments aren't in order. And I'd rather not have to come back and do this later.
Okay, so Josepha's motion to clarify was withdrawn? Amendment? Or
we
no,
already
this is added
passed
on
that.
top. It was passed, so it's
No.
added on top. Okay. This is the second amendment to the underlying
Correct.
motion. Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
We have
got
a
it.
second motion that
Yes.
you move that anywhere where a HERS rating is
Is now
referenced
53.
in the 2024 IRC that has been proposed, that number be changed from 60 to 53.
Yes.
Second.
That has a motion and a second. Was there any public comment on this? Any council comment, further comment on this? Yeah, Brian.
Yeah, I'm in support of this as well. For the reason that Giuseppe mentioned that it does increase or decrease rather utility costs for the homeowner. But I think it's important to note that while that is important, the overall costs associated with climate change, I think, are greatly outpace those. And so some of these changes are not just to be made for the benefit of the individual homeowner, but for I think, the greater good of society as well. I know it's tough for one city to impact the environment at large like that, but as I think the council member just pointed out, you have to start somewhere.
Yes, Wanda?
My question is this obtainable? I mean, can we actually get this done?
May I?
Yes.
And in researching this topic, I was going to make the same motion, frankly, to amend. Of homes in the United States that were rated under the HERS system, which is not all, it's those that are going for an energy efficiency kind of build, right? The last couple of years that were measured, I apologize, I don't remember which, but they're very recent. The average numbers were like 55 one year, and I believe 53 another year. So it is achievable. Many homes are doing it, and it's, the average rating that we see through this process is trending in a good direction. I don't think it's outlandish. I think especially when we're talking about the volume of single family homes that we deal with in Mission, and the fact that there are multiple routes to compliance with the IECC, not just the HERS rating. I don't think this is an undue burden compared to what you already have to do with a HERS rating of 60 or even higher. You already have to go through the process to get the HERS rating. It's the same process. It's just more stringent numbers. So it's not adding to me a bunch of procedural burden. It's just a level of workmanship, frankly. And I recognize that that's a burden, and I'm willing to ask that we put that burden on a couple of homes a year that have other options to comply with the code, by the way.
We also did hear from two folks on Sustainability Commission who I believe are in related fields, that if you are following the standards, then all of those as a collection help you get to the HERS rating. It's not that the HERS rating is above and beyond what is in the codes that are being proposed as well.
Okay, any further comments or questions? Robin, please call the roll.
Hayden Chomposi,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Ryard,
Aye.
Pring,
Aye.
Camosa,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Right, now we return to the underlying motion with carrying both amendments. Yes, okay. Now that it is amended, do we have any comments from the public on the motion as twice amended? Seeing none, any further council discussion? Yeah, Debbie?
Say, this city has gone above and beyond, I believe, in meeting sustainability goals. The commission in itself weighs in on several processes that the city feels a need to have them look at. And I think this is just one other layer that we can say that Mission will do it. If somebody else wants to join and get information from us, that's great, but I think we need to move forward. And our Sustainability Commission has been extremely good in kind of conveying to us what types of steps we should be taking. And most of the people on there are very professional and have backgrounds. Josh.
You're here.
Okay. Anything further?
Yeah.
Laura, did you have
No,
something?
no, I'll wait till you take the vote.
Okay. Robin, please call the roll.
Aye.
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 Before we move on, I think I know the answer to this question. I think the only other time we deal with a HERS rating is going to be in the IECC. It's not in the IBC that they adopted prior to this one. Okay, thank you.
Number 3.
Fuel gas code is next.
All right, ready? Okay, Mayor, I move the City Council adopt the 2024 International Fuel Gas Code by amending existing Chapter 500, Article 4 of the Mission Municipal Code entitled International Fast Fuel Gas Code.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comment or discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Hayden Chomposi. Aye. Pring.
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Camosa.
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Ryard.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mayor, I move the City Council adopt the 2024 International Plumbing Code by amending existing Chapter 500, Article 5 of the Mission Municipal Code entitled International Plumbing Code.
Motion and a second. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comment or discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Hayden Chomposi. Aye. Vaughn,
Aye.
Camosa.
Aye.
Pring.
Aye.
Ryard.
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Josie.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mayor, I move the City Council adopt the 2024 International Mechanical Code by amending existing Chapter 500, Article 4 of the Mission Municipal Code entitled International Mechanic Code.
Motion, oh, yep.
Article 6.
Article 6, sorry.
Article 6, okay. We had a motion and a second. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comment or discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Aye.
Camosa.
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Hayden Chomposi. Aye. Vaughn,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Ryard.
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mayor, I move the City Council adopt the 2024 International Existing Building Code by amending existing Chapter 500, Article 7 of the Mission Municipal Code entitled International Existing Building Code.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comment or discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Aye.
Hayden Champosi.
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Pring,
Aye.
Camosa,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mayor, I move the City Council adopt the 2023 National Electric Code by amending existing Chapter 500, Article 8 of the Mission Municipal Code entitled National Electric Code.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comment or discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Pring,
Aye.
Camosa,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Nay.
Josie,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis,
Aye.
Hayden Champosi,
Aye.
Ryard,
Aye.
motion carries.
Mayor, I move the City Council adopt the 2024 International Property Maintenance Code by amending existing Chapter 500, Article 9 of the Mission Municipal Code entitled International Property Maintenance Code.
Motion and a second. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none, any council comment or discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Carpenter Davis,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Camosa,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Hayden Champosi.
Aye.
Pring,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Ryard,
Aye.
motion carries.
Mayor, I move the City Council adopt the 2024 International Fire Code by amending existing Chapter 500, Article 10 of the Mission Municipal Code entitled International Fire Code.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any public comment on this item? Any council comment or discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Josie,
Aye.
Pring,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Ryard,
Aye.
Hayden Champosi,
Aye.
Camosa,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis,
Aye.
motion carries.
Mayor, I move the City Council adopt the ordinance renumbering existing Chapter 500, Article 11A, Article 12, and Article 13 of the Mission Municipal Code and making certain amendments thereto, and adding a new Article 12 to the entitled A117.I, Standards for Accessible and Usable Buildings and Facilities.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any public comment on this item?
Just because we're being clear, that's a dot one, right?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah.
Okay. What did I say?
A1.
A1, I'm sorry.
You're doing all.
Have to brush up on my, my Roman numerals.
Mhm.
Okay, we had a motion and a second.
Yes.
Okay, public comment on this one? Seeing none, any council comment or discussion?
I just.
Yeah, Debbie?
On a collective level, I just want to thank Brian and Courtney and all the people who worked on this, because this was a lot, months and months worth of work.
Yeah, I'm in staff.
Appreciate it.
We have a motion that appears to have been lost. Their you haven't voted on the ISS. So you're looking for that motion.
I can make it if you want.
Yeah, that's, I was thinking.
Go ahead.
It's not on here.
There's a
Okay.
motion on the table at the moment.
You need to vote on
Yeah. Yeah. So Robin, can you please call the roll? I know you're doing two things.
You can make the motion without a cheat sheet. if
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's in the ordinance pretty much.
That's what I was grabbing for you. Yes, I think that our Microsoft may have failed us a little bit here. Let's see. Hayden Champosi,
Aye.
Camosa,
Aye.
Ryard,
Aye.
Pring,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
motion carries.
All right, so we're
Mayor, I
waiting,
stand for a point of.
waiting on one more motion. Two motions. Oh, yeah, swimming pools.
Yeah, I offer some motions.
Yeah, skip.
I don't really know.
That's
why.
good. No, so you've got the pool. So they took the middle one.
He has the pool and.
Not the energy code.
Electric, yeah.
We did last.
Thank you.
Well, the one from the middle, between them.
Okay. Shall I make a motion?
Yeah.
All right. Mayor, I move the city council adopt the 2024 International Energy Conservation Code by amending existing chapter 500, Article 11 of the Mission Municipal Code entitled International Energy Conservation Code.
Here also, you may want to add to your motion that the HERS rating, you would like the HERS rating to be modified to 53 versus 60 in this ordinance. And I would just make that part of your original motion.
Okay, I further specify. I'm gonna add another amendment here into my main motion.
You don't have to amend it. You
Okay,
just-
so we'll changing the staff recommendation for IECC table R 406.5 and anywhere else that we deal with the energy rating index. Or hers, which is not in here, but yeah, good enough. Such that the maximum of 60 is replaced with the maximum of 53.
No, I think that's the opposite. Did you?
No, that's right.
We're going to 53. Gotcha.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any public comment on this one? Seeing none, any further council comment or discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Apologize for all the confusion. Hayden
all right.
Chambers,
Aye.
Camosa,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Pring,
Aye.
Ryder,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
motion carries.
Okay.
Now we've got our swimming pool.
Yep. Let me get my head together.
And Ben, before you jump to that one, I did just want to make one clarification, and Brian, you may or may not be able to remind me of the legislative code, but I did just want to flag that in the IRC that we passed, one of the amendments did address the Kansas legislative session bill that restricted our ability to apply anything further than the 2018 codes to new single-family dwellings less than 2,500 square feet. That's correct, right?
And as a part of adoption of that code, you made an exception because we had amended the HERS rating in the 2018. And so you made, it's worded so that you're going back to 62
Going back to the code as it was written.
originally ICC.
To ERI per.
Yes.
That was our previous 20.
Yes. The amendment included adoption of the unamended
An amendment.
2018 code,
2018 code.
IRC code for new single-family construction less than 2,500 square feet. And I just wanted to flag that that was to comply with the state statute that was passed this year. Yes, SB, there we go. Thank you. All right.
You ready for
Yep,
swimming
yep.
pools? Hang with me, this one's a little different. Mayor, I move the city council repeal Division 1 entitled Private Swimming Pools of Chapter 505, Article 9 of the Mission Municipal Code and replace it with a new Division 1 entitled Private Swimming Pools to adopt the International Swimming Pool and Spa Code as printed.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any public comment on this one? Seeing none, any council comment and discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Pring,
Aye.
Hayden Chambers,
Aye.
Camosa,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Ryder,
Aye.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Are you guys happy with the form of that motion?
Sure, well,
Okay.
as long as you will be as when you see it in the minutes. Yeah.
And that concludes my report. Mayor.
Bravo, bravo. Good job, everyone. We do not have any unfinished or new business tonight. Therefore, we will move on to comments from the city council. This is an opportunity for comments from our council members. Does anyone on the council have something they would like to share? Yeah, Debbie? Oh, Debbie, then Wanda?
Ward 3 will be sharing its spotlight with Ward 2 tomorrow evening. A community meeting at the community center, and it will be from 7 to 8. All are welcome and invited.
Excellent. Wanda?
I was part of the county's heat planning committee today. And they said they were talking about Mission Sylvester Powell being a heating and cooling center.
Correct.
And that was really, I think they were trying to get the other cities to be, but I was very impressed that they talked about that, and they would like to talk to Penn because they want to know how he was able to do that when others have not. And then there's also something about a tree canopy, and there's funding, I think, for, I'm not sure if it's for hydration or the tree canopy, but I think I have the contact, and we probably need to try to get some money to help with that. They want more hydration, like even out of grocery stores, if there was an outer water filling thing. Okay. But I was really pleased that we were called out as wonderful.
That's great. I know we applied for one source of tree funding before that we unfortunately didn't get, I think, to expand the canopy, but I don't think I've heard about this water specific one before. So it'd be good to share.
We really do have a lot of trees
Yeah.
in our place. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, Debbie and the men.
I want to thank Public Works for letting us know about the sinkhole in such an efficient and responsive time frame, like 10:30 at night. So good job. Second, I want to let you know that I attended a memorial service this morning for Stoney Bogan, who was a longtime chamber member, and his obituary information was absolutely unbelievable in terms of what he's given back to a community. So it was greatly attended, and it was a really nice service.
Good. Did I see one more hand on there? Cheryl, then Ben?
I just want to say thank you to the city for all the work that you did with FIFA and, the buses and just having things up. And it just brought this community together. And Penn, thanks for volunteering. And I'd love to hear all the stories there, but, and Johnson County and the watch parties. It created community at a time we really need community. So I appreciate everybody's efforts.
Yeah, just a couple things. First, I wanted to thank the Sustainability Commission as a whole and a couple of individual members for really digging into the building code adoption question and writing in support of strengthening those codes and furthering our climate action and environmental goals. So thank you to Chairwoman Alexa Root, Josh Thede, and the entire commission. I appreciate that input and advocacy. The second thing I had in mind was I've just seen another sort of, flurry of discussion out there in the metro area, and I think a couple of municipalities maybe taking action on e-bikes and mobility devices and things. I just want to remind everyone that there's a regional effort to look at what that policy should be and how it should be unified and ways that are going to make things less confusing as you move from city to city. And I hope we can continue to support and track that effort. I think it would really benefit the metro from the discussions that we've had at some of those meetings to get on a unified front with this kind of policy. And just to continue keeping in mind that, the more that some of the less regulated and perhaps unlawful devices are out there being used in more dangerous ways, the more it's going to continue becoming something of interest to the public. And as I've said in at least one email, I would be interested in starting to think about how we can increase our signage and enforcement and just make sure that people are using all these new devices the right way, not using the wrong ones. And there are a lot of devices out there that really probably shouldn't be sold. So just calling attention to that regional effort, I think it's going to be very helpful. And I hope that my colleagues in other jurisdictions are tuned into that and maybe to the extent that they don't need to for other reasons, pressing to their communities, aren't jumping the gun, so to speak, and getting out in front of some of the model policy that might be coming. Although I understand why, some of them may feel the need to act sooner.
Yeah. while we're on our parks theme and celebrating Parks and Recreation Month, I did just want to share that pretty much every time we go to Mohawk, we overhear unsolicited comments about how awesome the park is. And this past Sunday, it was two runners who were just like cutting through the park, and they were still talking about how amazing it is. So yeah, thanks. And I also saw staff out there cleaning up while we were out there. So great efforts. All right, next we have our council committee liaison reports. These reports allow the entire governing body to stay up to date with the various activities of our boards, commissions, and committees. First is council members Hayden Chomposi and Chosi for the Sustainability Commission.
Yeah, the Sustainability Commission last met on July 6th. The majority of the conversation was around the building codes that we have just gone through the adoption process of, but also some really good brainstorming around how to increase and improve education, both with more engaging youth activities, but also specifically around composting. That is, it looks like it's going to be a real push of the commission in the next a good solid chunk of time. I just acted like we're going to solve that in the next year. I don't know why that is what wanted to come out of my mouth. But here again, they acknowledged that a lot of education is going to need to be done for that, even if it is going to be a really high value problem to tackle for both the city of Mission and beyond. I think that's most of it. They're also talking about some joint work to be done with PRT. But yep, that's it.
Yeah, I was on vacation and missed this meeting, but I did want to just throw out there the Climate Action KC Regional Sustainability Meetup, where sustainability commissions from around the area, Johnson County, mostly some further afield, Lawrence and things, is happening tomorrow night. And I'm glad to see that the commission has leaned into that. I'll be attending regardless, just for personal support. And I think we can anticipate folks from the Sustainability Commission attending those in a kind of a rotating fashion as available. Really worth highlighting because there was a lot of good information that came out of the last one about composting, which is a focus of the commission.
Great. Next up, we have council members Camosa and Carpenter Davis for Parks, Recreation, and Tree Commission.
Yeah, Parks, Recreation, and Tree Commission met this past Monday at Broadmoor Park. Among other things that they discussed was the 2026 tree drive. We talked about, Wanda mentioned the tree canopy. This is a great way to give back to that. It's our annual event with local nonprofit Bridging the Gap. Tree species for both the 3-gallon and 7-gallon varieties have been selected, and those species include, but are not limited to, the pawpaw, serviceberry, nannyberry, hornbeam, and linden. Did I get all that right? This will be open for orders throughout the rest of the summer, with pickup happening sometime in September. More details can be found on the website, and then the PRT Commission will be tabling at a Mission Market, I believe August 20th. Yeah, the August 20th Mission Market. So anybody listening who's looking for a tree, this is a wonderful, cost-effective way to do that. So that concludes my report.
Next, we'll hear an update from Councilmember Crane on Mission Magazine editorial board.
We did not have a meeting, so I just want to say the magazine looks amazing.
Do you have a
We'll need
new exciting
extra
issue?
copies to take to the board meetings tomorrow night, if that's okay. Awesome.
All right, finally, Councilmember Schmidt and Bond for Family Adoption Committee.
I was able to attend the meeting and I was very impressed. It's a well-oiled machine. I have no doubt that it'll be successful. We are looking for additional funding sources. And that's about all I have.
Great. All right. And now for my report, I am excited to bring an appointment to one of our boards and commissions. Serving as a volunteer on one of our boards and commissions is a wonderful way to be part of the community and connect with other residents, elected officials, and our fabulous city staff. So I put before you now the appointment of Jan Folletta for the Sustainability Commission with a term expiring December 31st, 2027. Is there a motion?
Mayor, I move the city council uphold the appointment of Jan Folletta to the Sustainability Commission with the term expiring December 31st, 2027.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Yeah, Sam.
I was lucky enough to meet Jan last year. She's a really active member in our community and is just really good person. So I was really pleasantly surprised to see Mayor Flora nominate her to this post, and I think she's an excellent choice. I am going to support her.
Great. Any other comments? All right, seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Ryer.
Aye.
Jesse.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Camosa.
Aye.
Hayden Chomposi.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, congratulations to our new board and commission member, and we really appreciate your service. We do still have one vacancy remaining on sustainability. So if you know of anyone who might be interested, please have them send a resume and letter of interest to Ms. Folks. Let's see, next up, Laura, your report. Do you have any items you'd like to share tonight?
Just a reminder that the Mission Summer Family Picnic is coming up this Saturday. Somebody please remind me what time it starts. 6 o'clock at Broadmoor Park. We will be celebrating birthday. There'll be some special birthday editions that are coming along with that. I would like to also echo Council Member Carpenter Davis's comments about World Cup. It was truly a team effort from our staff. Robin's communications, Justin's porta potty, PD, Public Works, Parks and Recreation. We didn't see the crowds that we thought we might, but we were ready for that, and I think our city and our region put on a great face. So grateful for that. And then just a reminder that we will not have a meeting next week, but we do have a work session on Wednesday, the 29th, where we will continue our budget discussions ahead of the August committee meetings.
Great. Do we have any other updates?
Robin has some updates.
There's some exciting business updates, if I do recall right.
Spoiler alert.
Echo your sentiments, Mayor. I think we have some exciting business updates. So if you read your Mission Monthly e-newsletter yesterday, which I hope you did, and if you don't get one, let me know, and I'll add you onto the mailing list again. We have several new businesses coming soon or already open in Mission. 2 vacation rental real estate service businesses from the same family, Bear B&B Vacation and Short-Term Rentals. These are their offices. And then Brown Bear Real Estate Services. So same folks, different offshoot of the real estate business, both at 4800 Lamar. 913 Mercantile. This one you may have seen in the Johnson County Post recently, an offshoot of the shuttered Painted Tree boutique conglomerate that is no longer with us. So a maker space, essentially, about 50 booth vendors, local makers, local goods, and they are hoping to open in August or September. Seco Electric Company has moved some administrative offices here to Mission at 6850 West 47th Terrace. Muse Recovery, a recovery center at 5940 Lamar. Southwind MVP HVAC Services, so a HVAC company, again, administrative offices, 6820 Squibb Road. Mocha & Co., a new coffee offering at 5922 Barclay Street in the former Pepper Jack's Grill space, also in the Johnson County Post today, if you saw that article. Atlas Autism Health, so an autism health center for folks for treatment and therapies and things at 6511 Johnson Drive, and Levant Bakery, another local owned bakery coffee space coming at 6518 Martway Street, hopefully in the next month or 2. Those are all very exciting
Quite the list.
businesses. Yes, I know. I will never mind reading a list of wonderful new businesses coming to our city. And then the other thing that I wanted to put out to you more formally than on social media or in emails or casual conversation is that our Mission Street Dance is coming up. So our street dance is going to be a bit of a throwback to Mission celebrations of years past. If you remember in the Mission magazine last year, we focused on the street dances as a sort of throwback piece, just giving sort of some history and some fun photos. And one of our own was featured with his band. I won't name names. So we took that idea and ran with it a little bit. We have rented the Mission Theater space, and we will have a street closure along Johnson Drive that will circle down Woodson there as well. This will be on Saturday, September 26th. We've hired the Suburbans. They're a fantastic high energy band. They do tons of local events. They have 6 or 7 band members. They have an amazing set list. They'll provide us with music for 3 hours from 6 to 9. The event will start at 5 o'clock, so they will have music playing for us while they get set up. We'll have food trucks, we'll have a dessert selection, hopefully available for purchase. We're going to have a great photo booth vendor inside the Mission Theater for folks to come in. We'll be running a slideshow and have some still photos displayed of Mission history over the years, some coloring for kids. We're also running 75 Acts of Kindness campaign right now. So you may have seen that in Mission Monthly again. It's also in the magazine. Natalie Lucas from our Parks and Recreation Department designed it, and I think it's fantastic. Yeah. There are some suggested acts of kindness, but we encourage people to let us know what other acts of kindness they've done. Anyone that completes it, targeted towards kids, but really for anybody in the community, turn it back in at City Hall or the community center, and we'll draw some winners at the street dance. We'll also have a costume contest at the street dance through the decades. So if you are inspired to show us your favorite fashions from a decade in the past, please come dressed up. Again, some prizes for the winners at that at the event for that as well. So we're looking forward to it. We will add some more things and share more details, but we hope that you all join us. Yes.
Awesome.
Will that band be doing line dance music?
I can see, I think that they probably have some of the more well-known line dances, maybe like a cha-cha slide or something in there. But if there's a request from council,
20.
okay, send them my way and we will let them know and they'll do the best they can.
Okay, thanks.
Did I get that right? 5 to 9 on September 26th?
5 to 9 will be the event time. The band will be on from 6 to 9, but they will provide us with some Spotify type of playlist music for that first hour. So yeah, we hope you join us. Thank you.
Awesome. We do not have a need for an executive session tonight. So before we adjourn, I want to share with the public that the video from this meeting will be available through a link on our website at missioncast.org. There being no further business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. We are adjourned.
Anybody want any more of these bears?
Thank you.